If you were alive in 1981, like I was, your typical day was probably different to what it is now. Perhaps you began your day with a bit of looting and smashing the place up. Certainly popular in the UK in 1981. And then maybe you'd progress, and having get bored of putting through shop windows, you then go to the cinema and watch perhaps Raiders of the Lost Ark. And then, having fully entertained yourself on Hollywood movies, you then drive home in your DeLorean and put your feet up and watch Dallas. And then when that's come to an end and you're still not quite ready for bed, then perhaps you got this out. And yes, it's in a state. Let's have a look. This is my Binatone TV Master Mark 6. And yes, unlike a lot of my things, whilst it's boxed, it's in a bit of trouble. Now, I'd managed to leave this unwittingly against a damp wall, and so when I came across it, I had a bit of a panic, and I've already taken everything out. So I've spared you the unboxing. Let's have a look at it though, and let's see what state it's in. So this is it. And it looks surprisingly good, and I think the reason for that is, and the only reason for it is, whilst in the box, it was stored in a plastic bag. Because I think otherwise it would have just rotted away. Spinning it over, even the battery compartment looks good, so that's a bonus. But what is this thing? Well, it wasn't a console, because I don't think you could call it a console because you couldn't plug any more games into it. You just plugged it straight into your TV, and it certainly wasn't a computer either. But in essence, you've got a couple of inputs for the paddle controller, which I'll show you in a second. And then on the side, you've got basically a variation of the same games. But back in 1981, when I got this for my birthday, it was sort of like, this is amazing. I'm playing games on the TV. So it's not dated well. It's got limited entertainment and appeal, but I just thought this is something you might be interested in, and even has the option for the light gun. Can't demonstrate the light gun for you, unfortunately, because I don't have a CRT, and it'd need that for the light gun to work. So I've spared you the pain of watching me try to unscrew this, because it was a real pain. I think one of the screws was a security screw, and I really struggled to get it out. But if we get that off, this lid should lift off and you can see what's inside it. Okay. Well, there's inevitably an element of corrosion there, as you would expect. I was going to say, I was thinking about taking the motherboard out, but I don't think I will. We've got a couple of securing screws there, and one here which is totally worn away. I really don't want to start opening it up unless absolutely necessary. I think the most I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a blast with some contact cleaner, and I think that will do, really. Anything more than that, I think, is just asking for problems. Although that has to be. I have no idea what that is. And it can potentially touch against that capacitor. I was thinking it was sort of like a bimetallic strip that can move over. And I don't know. I don't know what that is. Let's give it a clean and see if it works anyway. get a pair of controllers. I mean, it's just literally a turning knob on top. They're very light. They're clearly built to a budget, and as well as the crusty instructions, just moving that out of the way. Also got a light gun, and there's an end to go on it somewhere. But I'm not gonna bother with a light gun anyway, because there's no point. So let's plug the controllers in. It's quite simply left and right, and let's get over to the TV. So I have tried tuning it in off camera because I thought it might be a nightmare, and indeed it is. But the good news is it's working, and as you'll see from the display, it's not perfect, but it's usable. Oh, there we go. Perhaps it is on its last legs. But if we have a look, there's one of the paddles. Paddle number 2. It's literally just a bat and ball game with various limited options. I'll just move the camera and show you. So it's shooting, target practice, football, squash practice, and tennis. Like I say, apart from the light gun, they're all pretty much the same thing for move between. So that's tennis, that's squash practice. There we've got squash with the 2 bats. There we've got supposedly football. Not so easy moving 2 controllers, but there you go. And then the last 2 is some form of light gun target practice. But I'll just give you a quick demo of the squash. And what I'll also do is I'll put the sound on, because why not? And you'll thank me for not having it on so far. Right, let's start that. Oh. So, you get the idea. 1981, this was hours of fun. And you could make it a little bit harder. I'll put on some manual serve, which is a switch. You can make the bat size smaller, you can slow the speed down, and you can make the angles more aggressive. So if I just release another ball, I just go balls out and speed it up. Let's start again. Yeah, had enough? Yeah, probably me too. All I need to do now is see if I can do something with that box. So here's a box. It's, as you've seen, it's looking a little bit shabby. Now, I've never tried restoring a box before, and I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but I think with a bit of artistic license, we can get it looking looking a bit better. I think my plan of attack will be, I'm going to start with some coloured pencils and see where that gets me. The only thing I'm concerned about is I'm not very creative, so you'll have to bear with me. Right, I think the first thing I'm going to do is, what colour's that Binatone? Right, well, it's quite faded that side. I think we're going to go with, is that orange a bit strong? I think it might be. I think that. Let's go with that. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's scratching a bit off, but it'll be okay. In fact, I think the pencil is just scratching a bit too much. Let's see what it's like in another area. Let's fill in some of this jumper. And you see bits of the box are coming off. What I might do is, as bits come off, I'll just replace it. So you can see it's starting to take effect. I think then what I might do is I might put some gloss over the top to make it look a bit better. In fact, I think what'll be best is if I get some felt tips. I think felt tips will colour it better. So I've just got these, which I think these will be easier to work with than pencil, because I think pencil's going to take too long. So let's give these a try. Right, let's go back. Do carrot orange up at the top. Oh yeah. That is so much better. It's not perfect, because obviously where the top layers come off completely, I'm not going to, it's going to soak into the cardboard underneath, isn't it? But yeah, that's starting to take effect. I think what I'll do is once it's dried, I'll go back over it again. I was going to wash it first, but then I thought I'm probably going to cause more problems making the box all wet. I think it's been wet enough. Right. In fact, I think it's cleaning some of the rubbish off as we go along, which is good. Right. And just do the underlining. Yeah, that's not perfect, is it? But it's certainly pretty good. Let's go. Let's do the easy bits. Let's do this jump a bit. Got a yellow here. Well, it's not coming through as yellow, is it? But I think again, once it dries, perhaps. Got more bits falling off. I need some black on there. In fact, let's do some black. Now the black's working really well. I think with the black it's hard to tell that anything's amiss, really. What about a grey for doing the telly? I think that's had a sticker on it or something, hasn't it? I think that'll lighten up. And then black around the edge. That's pretty good, that. Right. What colour's that? Green where the plant is. Right, so I'm guessing the plant's going to come down a bit like that. Something like that. Maybe spreads out a bit. And then we've got some white, sort of like coloured wallpaper. What colour? I think this one. Oh, that's a good match. Yeah, I'm not going for perfection. More of a skin colour, isn't it? Is that wallpaper? I don't know. This is going to be arm coming down here and going up there. Got an arm there. Guessing a lot of this is just black. So like get a general idea for it, and then I'll go back and fill it in later as all these bits are coming off. Right, and then we've got the console here, which think is going to be, so like this colour. Maybe that's a bit dark. Let's go with a grey. Let's get the thicker nib. Yeah, it's all like getting a feel for it, isn't it? It's not been perfect. Do some black. Let's do these squares. That's looking pretty good. Got some more black up here. Some grey. Some brown around here. Well, as you can see, it took quite a lot of time and effort, but it's looking a lot better now. It's still a bit faded in places, but I think overall, I think it's looking a lot better than what it was a few hours ago. It's surprising what hard work, determination and skill can do. Was that in shot? Yeah, you caught me out. There was no way this was ever going to restore, was it? I mean, let's be honest. It's absolutely battered and falling apart. I hope you don't mind me having a bit of fun though. So the story is quite clearly, I've got another one, and it's got another unit inside it as well, believe it or not, because I just wanted a decent box. The other one is obviously knackered, and I could spend all day colouring it in, and I'm not going to achieve very much, am I? So yeah, I found this on eBay and got another one. So now I have two. And I presume this works. I'll plug it into the TV just to see if the picture on this one's any better. Let's just see if the picture on this one's any better. Well, it wasn't any better. In fact, it was considerably worse, as you can see on the screen behind me. I did give it a clean up off camera, but whatever I did hasn't made any difference. It may be better if I can convert the signal from it from RF to composite, but it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed the look back at 1981 and the Binatone TV Master 6. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd really appreciate a thumbs up or a sub if you've got this far. And if you really like my content, there's also a link in the description to buy me a coffee. Other than that, hopefully see you again soon. Bye-bye.